So you can come into a comfortable cross-legged position. And if you have something you want to sit up, you can grab it, a blanket or cushion. Either close your eyes or take a soft gaze towards the floor in front of you. And start to slow down inside. Slow down the pace of your breath. And seeing if we can also slow down reactivity. Trying to widen the space between what we might feel and then what we might do about it. So here you could start by just feeling all the sensation that is present in your body in this shape. Your energetic level. Your mental, emotional state. And just before we do anything about it, just letting it be, just like this. You can let your eyes open, keeping a soft focus, and feel free to open and close your eyes as it's useful for you throughout your practice. Let's begin with a gentle twist. We'll take the left hand across and the right hand to the floor behind you. As you inhale, sit a little bit taller. As you exhale, rotate a little bit more. And breath by breath, see if there's even more height, even more twist. One more breath here. And then release and switch. Starting gently, lengthening, rotating, and then exploring the edges. Is there any more length? Is there any more twist? And then release back around to the front. Let's interlace fingers in front. Put some pressure between the arms like you're going to pull them apart. You can spread between the shoulder blades, the upper back. And then release and interlace fingers behind your back, maybe the other thumb on top. Lift the heart. And then fold. And that may be dropping your head, maybe coming part way or all the way to the floor. Reaching arms up and back away from you, whatever amount you're able. And then release, come up, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from your hands on your knees, drop your chin. And then roll your way back up. Let's recross the legs so the other leg is in front or on top, sitting tall. Drop your right ear over to right shoulder. Press down through the left shoulder, stretching left side of the neck. Keep coming back to slow, deep breaths. Just observing what's happening, putting a little space around it. And if there's anything to do about what you feel, let it be conscious rather than habitual. Rotate your chin to your chest. Come over to the other side. Both shoulders drop. But now even more through the right side, looking for a stretch on right side of the neck. Rotate chin to chest. Come back to the first side and then go back and forth. Half circles or 3/4 circles. Watching the sensation move from one side over to the other. Next time your chin is to your chest, stay there. Interlace your fingers behind your head and let your elbows hang down, stretching the back of your neck. Release the arms, head floats back up. We'll bring hands to the floor behind us, fingers facing forward. Roll your shoulders back, your elbows back, and then lift the chest. Take the chest as high as you can, sternum rising up. And release, come up, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from your hands on your knees, drop your chin. And then roll your way back up. Let's come all the way onto hands and knees, tabletop. If you want to pad your knees, you're welcome to use a blanket or cushion for that, if you have something. Place hands right under shoulders, knees right under hips, fingers spread, and then take a couple rolls through the spine, starting by lifting the head and tail arching. And then exhale, round, draw the belly in. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Now, inhale, arch. Exhale, shift your weight forward, bend your elbows straight back and dip part way or all the way to the floor. Press up from there. Round. Arch. Go forward to dip down. If going down all the way is too much, just go a couple of inches. Press up from there. Round. Arch. Go forward to dip down, elbows hugging the sides. Press up. Round. Arch. One more time, dip down. Press up. Round and then sink back to child's pose, releasing hips to the heels. Forehead to the floor. Letting the weight of your body release into the support underneath you. with arms out in front of you. Walk your hands over to the left and then pull back through your right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. And then come back to center. Let's lift up through table and come back into downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. And here you might pedal out your feet a little bit, bending one knee as you press the opposite heel towards the floor, waking up the backs of the legs, getting into calves and hamstrings. And walk your hands and feet towards one another. And let's hang in ragdoll. Feet hip width apart, parallel. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. You can take a sway or shake out here. Letting your head release, the muscles of your face release. Each shape is an opportunity to feel what's here, and can you relax even with what you're feeling. If it's too much, you can always modify. Here you might bend your knees or use support through your arms. But wherever you're choosing to be, can there be ease? Let's bend the knees a little more. And slowly roll up, coming all the way up to standing. Step up to the front of the mat, coming into mountain pose, Tadasana. We'll bring feet together or apart, hands together at the heart. Slow, deep breaths. Let's take a full A-series sun salutation. Next inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive down. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Feel free to take an extra couple breaths in this first one. Checking things out. How does this feel in your back and your body right now? And then back to down dog when you're ready. And we'll take 5 deep breaths in down dog, or come back to child's pose, or sitting, or onto your forearms or knees, any neutral shape. One more deep breath in and out. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward, inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. This time from down dog, when you are ready, take your right leg up, Bend your knee in and start circling this bent right knee, making the biggest circle possible for your hip joint. You could also do this from hands and knees. Feel free to drop that left knee to the floor. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, circle your ankle a few times, pulling the hips up and back as you do. Take your leg a little bit higher and then a big step forward, high lunge. Feel free to adjust your footing. When you're ready, arms sweep high. Hips sink low. Each inhale, even more space and length. Each exhale, maybe a little more grounding. What is there to release here? Last breath. Tip forward. Standing splits, hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. We'll do this with hips square. And with the upper body letting go, like ragdoll, let your head hang, let your neck release, stretch that left leg straighter, longer, higher. Let your face relax even more. Last breath. Step back. Warrior one, drop the back heel, inhale, arms up. Settle in, doing the work, useful, and being in this shape. Letting go what's not needed here. Last breath. Release, hands to the floor or blocks if you have them. Let's take pyramid pose. We're going to straighten the front leg, part way or all the way. Feel free to adjust the distance between your legs and come up as high as you need to with your hands. So you might come all the way up on the highest setting of the blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use other things. If you don't have any things, you could use your shin. Just make sure you're not locking that front leg. Going towards a flat back, towards hip square, towards folding. One more breath here. Let's release. Make your way back to down dog. Take your time, moving in the way that feels right for you, feeling what you're choosing to do. And from down dog, when you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Bend your knee in. Start circling this bent left knee, feeling what you're doing. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, circle your ankle a couple times, drawing the hips up and away from your hands. Take your leg a little higher and then a big step forward. Feel free to adjust your footing when you're ready. Arms up. Settle in. One more breath here. Tip forward. Standing splits. Feel free to use blocks for your hands. Feel free to bend your supporting leg, finding just the right amount of stretch. So you want to go to your edge, not beyond it. One more breath. Step back. Warrior one, drop the back heel, inhale, arms up. Settle in. One more deep breath here. Release, pyramid pose. Use blocks or props if you have them. Adjust, finding just the right placement for your arms, your legs, and then fine-tuning, placement of your hips. Doing all the things you know to do, and we're always learning. So just working with what you know right now. Encountering your edges right where they are. And then can there be a settling in and allowing it to be like this, however this is. One more breath here. Let's release. Make your way back to a good rest. Take your time. Any movement you want to take, a vinyasa is one option, lots of options. And then settle into a good resting pose. Down dog, child's pose, sitting. More important than the shape, coming back to presence, back to slow, deep breath. Last breath here. Let's come back through down dog. And step or hop your feet forward, inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Let's bend the knees and come into chair, Utkatasana. Sinking hips back and down. Lifting head high, fingers high, but shoulders low. Looking for lots of space between your shoulders and your ears. One more breath here. Release, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. Right leg sweeps up, one breath. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Let's open out, warrior two. Shift hips and arms to the side, and then take your time checking your footing, checking the alignment you know, engaging what's useful, softening, releasing what's not needed. Flip the right palm to face the ceiling, reverse warrior two, right arm high, left hand back. And then straighten the front leg, triangle, reach out to come down. You can bring your hand to your shin, your ankle, a block or the floor, expanding past the tips of the fingers, past the top of the head. Last breath here. Release, make your way to down dog. However you want to get there, you might just step back, you might take a vinyasa. From down dog, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Open out. Warrior two. Check your footing. Feel what it's like to be in this shape now. Flip the left palm, reverse warrior two. Straighten the front leg, triangle. One more breath. Let's release. Make your way back to a good rest. Letting go. Relaxing your face. One more deep breath in and out. Let's come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward, inhaling flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up, inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten. Let's take a few balancing poses. So you can separate your feet and kind of shift your weight around, feeling the soles of the feet into the floor, tuning in a bit more. And then lift the right leg up for tree, Vrikshasana. So as high as you can, as low as you need, anywhere above or below your knee. And pressure with the foot into the inner leg will help keep it in place. If it's sliding, try and push a little bit. Arms can be out to the side to steady you, and you're welcome to use a piece of furniture or wall. If you feel steady, you might bring hands together or arms up. How much can you notice here? The more sensory input, the more intense, the more uncertain, the harder it is to feel. So partly what we're doing in this practice is doing poses that are maybe at first overwhelming many, many times, so that we can practice bringing wherewithal, even in potentially an unsettling situation. So can your breath be slow? Can you open up and feel even more here? Let's release this side, shake that out. Feel both feet grounded. And then move over to one. Other leg up, left leg as high as you can, as low as you need. Can you relax your face? Can you drop your shoulders? Can you tune into the sole of the foot, feeling where your weight is, seeing how it shifts around to keep you in balance? And then release. Shake that out. Get steady on 2 feet again, feeling grounded. Let's take a quad stretch balance. If you're able, bend the right leg back, take hold of it. Might be with one hand, might be with two hands. Feel free to use a piece of furniture or wall. As you draw your heel in, notice if your hips tip back. Try and drop through the tailbone, lift through the pubic bone, opening the crease in the front of the right hip, yawning that open. And then release, shake that out. Feel your weight even again, both feet grounded. And then slowly move over to the other side. Left leg comes back. Quad stretch, balance. Fine tuning in all the ways you can. Usually start simple, tuning into subtlety when there's not a lot of input. And then in some of these other poses, there's a lot more going on. How much can you feel? Let's release. Shake that out. Bring feet hip width apart, hands to the top of the buttocks. Roll your shoulders back, roll your elbows back, and then lift the chest. Take the chest as high as you can, sternum rising up. You're welcome to look forward, look up, or let your head drop back, but keep the chest lifting. Try not to collapse into the hands. And then release, fold forward. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. If you're able, grab your big toes with the first two finger and thumb. You might need to bend your knees quite a bit in order to reach. Once you have hold, lengthen and fold. Pull your head towards the floor, tractioning out your spine. Inhale to look up. Exhale, release the hands, lower the hips, come into a squat, malasana. And you're welcome to turn your toes out more. You can widen your stance, you can use props. If the heels don't easily come down, you might make this more comfortable by sitting on something or sliding some support under the heels. Finding how does this work for your body right now. We're going to open up the knees using the elbows, and as best you can, roll your shoulders back and down. So the chest is nice and open, long spine. And we'll work our root lock here, Mula Bandha, same as a Kegel exercise. As you exhale, draw the pelvic floor muscles in and up. As you inhale, release that. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release, and then engage and keep holding, keep breathing, drawing in strongly through the bottom and connecting that to the top. Feel the full length and space that you take up. And then release. Let's come back to a forward fold. Bring feet back to parallel and take any arm position here. You might hang in ragdoll. You could take a handful of your hair and pull your head towards the floor. You might give your own neck and shoulders a little squeeze. And when you're ready, let's make our way back to down dog. It might just be a slow step back. You could take a vinyasa, any movement that you like. Just feeling what you are doing. Let's send the right leg up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Come into a twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee for a prayer twist, or left hand on the inside of your leg for a more open twist. In either case, if you would prefer to do this as a low lunge, you could drop the back knee. One more breath here. Let's release. Hands to the floor, drop the back knee. If you want to pad it, you're welcome to put a blanket or cushion under there. And if you have blocks, you may want to grab them. We're going to come to a hamstring stretch. Inch the front foot forward. And then flex the toes back. Adjusting hands right under shoulders, as high as you need. If you do want to slide the front heel further forward, going towards splits, you're welcome to. Hanumanasana. Feeling where you are. If you did slide forward, slide your way back. From here, we're going to adjust into a pigeon pose. So one way you might do that is bringing your left hand to your right foot, taking it over to the left, and then as you lean forward, bending the right knee, coming into pigeon. And then you may need to adjust the angle of your front leg. You may want to set up some support under the right hip or your chest or forehead. And then folding towards the floor, letting go. What is there to release here? Let's bring the upper body back up. Take your time. And then find your way back to down dog. You might take a vinyasa. You might wiggle around a little bit or simply just step back. Feel whatever it is that you are choosing to do. When you're ready, left foot steps forward, high lunge. Come into a twist. So similar twist to what you did on the first side. Could be right elbow to the outside of the left knee, could be right foot on the floor, could be high or low lunge. And then feeling around within this shape. And can there be a little space around what you feel before it's good or bad, doing anything about it, just simply taking it in. One more breath here. Let's release. Hands to the floor or blocks. Drop the back knee, patting it. Inch the front foot forward. Hamstring stretch, finding your edge and adjusting your body so you stay at your edge. You can always go deeper or back out. If you did slide forward towards splits on the other side, you might try that again. If you did slide forward, slide your way back, and let's transition into Pigeon Pose. So you might use your right hand to take the left foot across to the right and shift your weight forward. Maybe there's some other way you transition. Check in on everything you know to check in on. How's the angle of that front leg? How's your weight distributed? What are you noticing? What are you feeling? And slowly release. Take your time, finding your way back to down dog. However you want to get there. Let's come all the way through to sitting. And I'm going to suggest a supported fish next. We are moving towards the end of class, so if there's a different way you want to wind things down, feel free to do what you prefer. And if you want to do supported fish, there's lots of ways to do this, more or less intense. You can lie over blocks as I'm doing, or roll up a blanket, or a foam roller, or a rolled up yoga mat. Could be very gentle or very intense. You get to choose. Whatever you're using, put it behind the upper back. Make sure it's not near the lower back. About the nipple line, if you drew a line from your nipples back. And then you may want something else supporting your head. Notice if your chin is lifted, see if you can drop your chin towards your chest, and you may want something to support your head so the chin can be dropped. Arms can be overhead or out to the side. Legs can be bent or straight. Try and lengthen the lower back. And then see how much you can relax into the position you're in. Letting the weight of your body melt over your props. And keep stripping away, keep checking. Each exhale is an opportunity to let go more. This is a position you might stay in for a good long time. If you want to stay longer, you're welcome. If you're ready to release out of it, you can also do that at any time. One gentle way of doing so is to interlace your fingers behind your head. Lift your chin to your chest, slowly taking the pressure off your props. And then lean to one elbow, moving your things out of your way. Roll down and rest, just feeling the effect of where you were, feeling how it is now. You can just check in with your body, what's needed. I'm going to suggest happy baby next, but again, keep going with what you want. What do you feel like now? If you want to join me with happy baby, you can grab the soles of the feet on the inside, pressing your knees towards the floor. And this can be done in stillness or a little rocking. You can keep your knees bent or straighten them one at a time or together, part way or all the way. Each time you finish something, just ask again, what's needed now? What would be a good next pose? Is there a part of the body that's craving something? I'm going to suggest a spinal twist next. You might join me in dropping the knees to one side or bringing one knee across. If you were taking a twist or asymmetrical pose, you can switch when you feel ready. Feeling where you are. When you feel even on the two sides, you can bring both knees in again, checking in. Is there something else? And when nothing else is needed, you can start getting comfortable in your final resting pose. You may want to take some time to adjust your clothing or grab props or a little self-massage. A big part of this practice is learning to listen to our bodies. How do we take good care of this body? It did not come with instructions. So through trial and error, through experimentation, we're learning how to take care of ourselves. And what you're doing right now is a step in that direction. And take all the time you need, winding things down, wrapping things up, and eventually settle into your final rest. Coming into stillness. Letting go of doing anything. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And let this movement increase gradually, eventually stretching out through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in. And roll to one side, pausing there for a moment. Use your hands to help you up to sitting. We'll bring hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining me today.